Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
Technical challenges. Welcome to the podcast for empathy and imagination. This is the only podcast with Aubrey Cloutier and
Drew Clark
as your hosts. Welcome to another sunny, beautiful day in Crockett, California. We are here at Gradient Studios. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing okay. I think, let's start with the check-in.
Check-in.
Okay, how about you go first?
Okay,
How
so
you
my
doing?
check-in. I'm going to check in with you all. Playing a lot of music as usual. A little bit stressed out because I got to move out of my house. It's always stressful. But then I think, what's the worst case scenario? And then my stress level goes down because worst case scenario isn't actually that bad.
What is the worst case scenario?
Well, I didn't find an apartment. I would just, live out of the music studio or crash at a friend's place or sleep in the van.
You could do some combo of studio and van.
Combo,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it's a little stressful to move,
Yeah, totally.
Sick of moving. And talking to an old friend, not really an old friend, an old personage from my deep past. And it feels like waking up from a coma or something, deep sleep, slumbering, leaving Earth and being in hypersleep for 25 years and then arriving at a new planet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's really cool. And yeah. How about you? How you doing?
I've actually found some peace in something. Lately, I've noticed, I've shared with the audience here, that I've felt some difficulty or trouble breathing or anxiety and chest awareness and breath awareness and feeling like there's something heavy on my chest. And it's been really bugging me. It sucks to be thinking about breathing all the time.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an involuntary action.
Yeah, but if you have to think about it constantly, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that for the last few weeks, thinking about most of my breaths, which is pretty terrible. But I stopped drinking coffee, and all of a sudden, I feel 85% better.
5%?
85.
Oh, 85.
And now I'm 85%
wow.
better.
That's significant.
Yeah, so I can feel little traces of those old difficult feelings, but it's sort of scaling down, and I'm gonna take a break from coffee for a while.
How much coffee were you eating?
It was
eating.
I was eating 3 cups a morning.
Just eating grounds?
Yeah, just crunching it with my teeth,
Yeah.
whole beans. Well, 3 cups in the morning, and then I would have an enormous shit, and then I would go to work and
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's a lot of coffee.
I mean, I actually do poop a few times a day. Most people call that regular, but some people are afraid of that.
Of pooping 3 times?
Well, I don't want to jump ahead because it leads me into our topic.
Okay.
But so my check-in. I'm playing a lot of music. I'm still thinking about leaning towards going into the pool route business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like I'll be able to make enough to live and slowly grow my thing and help people with what they got. So for some years, it's probably going to be a few years that I do that.
Are you still negotiating, or what's?
Yeah, we're still sort of meeting the owners and stuff. There's a brokerage. It's very boring language. We need to set up a meeting to go over the client accounts with the brokerage, stuff like that. So yeah,
that's cool.
I guess that's my check-in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for the check-in.
Feeling pretty good. So we're checked in.
Checked in. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so today we have a special guest. He's going to be arriving here a little bit later. Richard Morrison. He is an artist and a musician, and he has lived many interesting places, done many interesting things, and he's an interesting guy. So you all are going to get to meet him here in a little bit. So stick around. But before he gets here, I think we could probably start one of our topics. Do you have a topic that you would like to get into for now?
How about powerlessness?
Ooh, okay.
It's kind of a great
It's like
feeling.
a feeling.
It's a good feeling when something good is happening and you're powerless to change it. But it can also be a really unpleasant feeling.
Powerlessness, like surrender, sort of.
Yeah. Not having power over things that happen.
Okay.
So I get, uncertainty, maybe, powerlessness. Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, cool.
No, any thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I would equate that to surrender.
Like on a roller coaster.
Okay.
Is that pleasant? Is it pleasant that you're not in control? Or is it unpleasant?
I think it's pleasant. You get to let go and not be in control.
Yeah.
And
So I guess it's dependent on the context, whether powerlessness is good or bad.
but it's a real thing. Powerlessness, I mean, it's like I think you need it, and I think you also not need it. You need power too.
Yeah.
So like powerlessness, when I apply empathy to that idea, it's like, well, it's needed and scary too, right? So it's like
It's very scary.
if it's a little scary, then you're sort of powerless to change it.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's really hot in here, but would you turn the lights up just a smidge there, sir?
These guys?
Yeah, we can't really see us too well. Thanks. That's actually a good bit better.
Okay, turn on the heat lamps, everybody. Enjoying a fine
Yeah,
Sierra Nevada
we are
pale
enjoying
ale
today,
today.
Sierra Nevada's Pale Ale. So thanks, Sierra Nevada.
Thank you.
So powerlessness is like everyone experiences it.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think people experience it when they don't expect it. That's the whole powerlessness thing about it. If you try to have it happen when you want it to happen, that's still you being powerful.
And it can be, I think, addictive if you try to escape powerlessness.
Oh, just to be
constantly
like,
striving
oh.
for more
Oh.
status or power or control.
It's like,
But you can never have full control.
no, never. Well, also, you can never fully, you can't also fully let go of control either. Because then
It's true.
you get addicted to not making any decisions and not doing anything if you're just fed food and you can poop somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like powerlessness.
I think
can
you
be
get
an addiction
bored.
too. Some people get complacent, and then depression, boredom, and complacency sort of become one
Yeah.
thing. So people like to produce. People like to make things. Oh, we have a doggy.
Got a doggy visitor.
No doggies. Go.
Got
Well,
all kinds of guests coming in
Yeah,
here.
Well, we'll work it out. Well, we got that door open because it's freaking hot.
Yeah. It's another steamy day.
I might hose myself off and then come back onto the show here.
Gradient saunas.
Yeah. Well, at least we're sweating out all the chemicals.
All the coffee.
Yeah, sweating my coffee out.
Sweating the coffee out of your pores. Probably stays in your system for a while.
Yeah, I should probably give it a week.
Yeah. Coffee's so good, though.
I love it.
Do you put butter in your coffee?
No,
Coconut
I would.
oil?
I would. I usually just put whole, cream, half and half.
Yeah.
And that's it. No sugar. I don't need the sugar.
right.
Hey.
Maybe just 1 cup. 3 is a lot.
I think I need to take a full break for a
Full
little
break.
bit. And
Not
then
even
I'll-
not even decaf.
No, I don't want the acid. Just because I think the heartburn was happening too.
Hey,
Ziggy, go away. This cute little dog.
by which I mean sit. All right.
Where is she? There. She's sitting.
Sitting.
See her.
She's probably gonna lay down in a sec.
Yeah. Ziggy. Well, okay, folks.
Yeah. So powerlessness, power, control. I mean, you want to be powerless sometimes.
I do.
Surrender.
Mm-hmm.
The act of love making, for example.
For example, massage.
Massage. So that's my, it's a brief topic, but that's my topic.
Okay.
Thanks for checking in on the topic.
Absolutely.
Do you have a topic?
Yeah.
What do you got going on over there?
Okay, I want to talk to you guys about, well, human manure composting and fear of fecal matter.
Huh.
Fecal fear.
Fecal fear.
Yeah. So,
Sounds like a good band name.
right. So let's talk about the
Fecal fear.
flush toilets called environmental disaster. So we're gonna bring up. Yeah, you keep
Fecal fear. Fecal fear. Welcome. So, what prompted this topic?
Well, I was doing some research and thinking about some things, and I realized that I care about it, and I have actually cared about it a long time. And I wanted to talk about it here. Let me just try to pull
Poop cares?
this little thing up here.
Poop concerns?
That is what I'm trying to do. There we go. Flush toilets called environmental disaster.
Flush toilets are called the
Forget the convenience and sanitation of the flush toilet that industrialized nations have enjoyed for most of the past century.
Huh.
A growing number of people are now advocating the expanded use of compost or dry toilets worldwide to combat what they see as an international water crisis. Proponents of dry toilets set to convene at the first annual International Dry Toilet 2003 conference in Tampere, Finland, August 2023.
Huh.
Oh, I think our guest is here.
Well, shiver me timbers.
Shiver me timbers. Hey. So we'll come back to the pooping topic here. Hey, made it. Welcome.
Hi. Your dog doesn't like me.
Oh, it's not our dog.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Come in, have a
I
seat.
feel different. We must allow dogs everywhere. Hey, dog.
Yes.
Just say, what's her name?
That's Ziggy.
Ziggy. Hey, Ziggy. It's okay. You're safe.
As in Ziggy Marley?
No, as in Stardust.
Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, okay. There we
Okay.
go. That's different. You know, headphones for you. Okay. Yeah, Zappa was tapped in. I wasn't a Zappa fan, but I had visions.
Okay.
Yeah. He saved my life.
Oh,
You know,
good.
it's a long, convoluted story. Just like, today I had a couple scoops of synchronicity, but that was a Dreamtime thing. It lapsed over a couple years. It hit me hard.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like kind of like acid.
Oh, good. Well, can you, as you get comfortable, can you scoot in so your mouth is about as close as my mouth is to your filter?
Yep.
So we can hear your sweet voice all over the airwaves.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, this is,
There we go.
Roger Norton from Nebraska.
Can you hear the effects?
These guys are weird.
These guys are weird.
We're all weirdos on this bus.
We're allowed to be weirdos. It's all right.
People need to allow themselves to, have their tails to wag, and I've become a dog owner now. And so
Huh.
I'm
That's
learning
good.
from
Okay,
being a
so
dog father.
so good. Let's. We already introduced you, but please introduce yourself and just
My
start
name's,
with a little bit. Yeah, go ahead.
Baba Nam Kevalam Singh from planet Trollfamador, and I got a download of some high-tech stuff when I was younger, and allowed me to see things that people don't normally see. So I've kept it to myself, but it's time for this to.
Well, thanks for
So,
joining.
yes, thanks for doing it on the podcast.
Thanks
for
for-
empathy and imagination.
Yeah. Thanks for
Welcome.
coming to the planet. Welcome to Earth.
Wow. Thanks
I'm-
for the release.
I'm trying to. There's this other guy, it's like that movie K-PAX, Richard Morrison, I think.
Yeah, I know
Oh,
him.
you know,
I've known him some years
I always
actually.
It's your
it
alter
hurt
ego.
my mouth to say that name. I don't know, it's just something kind of like
Ooh,
Howard apparently was my grandfather's name.
Howard.
Richard
Howard.
Howard, but he went by Howard.
Okay.
Anyway, he was maybe knocked off by some high end. He was CEO for Standard Oil and
Your grandpa.
wow.
Yeah. He
Oh,
made the deal
shit.
with the Saudis.
Oh.
In 1937, shook
Wow.
hands with King Saud. The blades that he gave my grandfather just disappeared. Actually, they were stolen apparently from my.
The
folks.
swords he gave your dad?
Yeah, they weren't like super valuable, but they were gifted. I think all this stuff's kind of like
Hmm.
not that interesting.
Somebody has those swords.
But it did change history. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He
How
went
did you?
to- and
How
I'm
did the two
related-
of you
I'm
meet?
related to him. But that was a while ago.
Do
If
you
it wasn't
drink-
for him,
That-
you
that's
wouldn't be
after,
here.
After I went to 12
Do you
Amadores.
drink beer?
Sure.
So how did the two?
Nice hot day out here.
Here, let's. Do you wanna?
Okay. Cheers.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How did the two of you
being
meet?
welcome is really nice. You need to create welcomeness everywhere.
Right.
Indeed.
Yo-Yo Ma agrees. That was one of the
Ahmad
themes-
agree?
That was one of his themes at his show at the Greek Theater. Was this sort of international embrace all cultures, but this idea, which ties into that, of welcoming.
Well, cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And cheers to our viewers at home.
Okay. Here to all dogs.
All dogs too.
Cheers
Good,
to
good,
everyone
bad,
at home.
Confused and otherwise. We're all dogs at heart.
Yeah, totally.
Did you guys live on the marina nearby? Is that how
I
you
have
met?
A boat.
You
Yeah.
have a boat.
Still,
Still
he
have
had
a
a
boat.
mega yacht.
Yeah.
His was a veritable destroyer from like some kind of Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it
Huh.
died.
Did you have a name for your? What is it called?
Naglfar.
Naglfar. Was that's from like a
That's the ship
Like
Loki
Valkyrie.
sails.
Yeah.
Loki sails in a port made of human bones
Oh, okay.
and
Mm.
fingernails to signify Ragnarok, the end of the world.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
So no big deal.
Comforting.
Yeah, well, they made music in my recollection that kind of fit that.
We
whole
did.
thing.
We made some symphonic
Ragnarok.
black metal, and most neighbors were cool with it, right? Most people were like, "Oh, cool," but there were a few people who were like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah. I mean, I was rather forthcoming and rude about your music, but I did appreciate it deep down that there were people playing music in the. I'm a sitar guy, so.
Right. We played on the boat. I remember.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. I learned something about rhythm or something. I remember playing the drum. That was about it.
Okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
that's.
And your dog was terrified of me.
Yeah, he probably
Yeah.
still is. He's
Yeah.
inside. I kept him
Yeah.
inside.
What was the dog's name again?
Inferno.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a relationship.
Yeah.
I worked on him. Her.
Him.
Him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He was confused for a girl dog a lot because
Why?
when he was cut pretty close,
Ah.
they shaved him pretty short. So
No, just on the subject of dogs, real quick, since I can't get this off my brain, is that there's a girl that's in love with my dog.
oh, okay.
Bit of a tweaker. Now she just left a
Bit of a
whole.
well.
This doesn't happen every day. She left like a whole, pile of mementos on my doorstep. I think at 4 in the morning, including a can of open dog food. So I know it was her.
Oh,
But her undies and stuff like that. She's
for the okay.
in love, I think, with my dog, smitten. So you never know. There might be some kind of process, in nature that there's a kind of commingling of these different animals to somehow magically birth a new form. I think ideally it would be like golden retriever human blend.
Okay, so you like
He's
long
really
golden hair.
happy, kind-
Happy and loyal.
Yeah,
Inarticulate.
Pretty good chance of long-term survival, I think.
Okay, well, golden
Yeah.
retriever purebreds have a lot of hip problems, and
But it makes
statistically,
them
they
human.
bite more people than any other types of dog,
No shit.
more than pit bulls.
Retriever?
Golden retrievers.
No way.
Yeah, you
Is
want to
that
pull it up
because
on the
they have
interwebs?
they have a latent schizoid gene or something?
Well, I think it's because there's more of them than anything else, and so it's just the it's a
just
numbers game.
statistically. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Huh. But not necessarily. They're not necessarily more vicious.
No, not necessarily.
Huh.
I think poodles are probably the most vicious commonly known dog. I've had a lot of issues with poodles. Have you encountered poodles?
Yeah, we had pool. Yeah, they have a kind of self-referencing that ignores
Self-referencing.
all the other the other
Any
the
other-
outside is not it's not on the poodle team. It's
I think
just
they're pissed
a
off because they
French-
look so silly.
it's a French thing, I think.
Oh my gosh.
They're cute. My
Yeah.
poodle was actually a big-hearted guy back when I lived in Lafayette, and he was in love with our other dog, a Cairn Terrier Toto type. And when Foxy Lady, the Cairn Terrier, passed on, I mean, the poor poodle demonstrated his humanness, so to speak, his empathy, by howling, and it was in mourning for months.
Oh.
And first, genuine.
Wow.
You know, more genuine than you see, most human beings
Right.
behave
Yeah.
about.
Animals care. It's true. We've had a topic about interspecies relationships definitely here. So okay, let's come back a little bit to you.
Oh, me.
No, like
Yeah.
I've known you for a while, and we've
Okay.
jammed sometimes and partied
Okay,
sometimes and
sure,
been
okay.
neighbors. And I mean, you've always been interesting to me,
Okay.
and you always seem like a smart guy who's
Okay.
able to do a lot of
Today
stuff.
I've done a lot today already.
So you do a lot of stuff, and you play a lot of instruments. Like, what the
Okay.
fuck is in your left hand, for example? What is that?
This is just
Could you
a
pass me a
tube I
beer?
I
Yeah.
harvested from the recycle bin. I believe it's perhaps a attachment to a vacuum cleaner, but it makes a marvelous didgeridoo, and it has two sizes. So if your
Okay,
mouth
go
is-
ahead. Yeah, you're in the shot.
There we go. We need to mic the other end.
Whoa,
you
yeah,
get
we could
that,
throw a
and
mic
then
on that thing.
You can do a trumpet. I don't like practice just one.
It sounds
get
like an
little-
It's
elephant.
like a safari.
Well, you can get the elephant if you yell to it. I don't like. Occasionally, I do this for kids. The kids love it.
Oh, there we go.
It gets
Yeah.
nice, believable. If you ever want
Yeah.
to kind of freak people out,
If you
hear
ever
the
want to
dogs
attract
barking?
other elephants.
Yeah.
there's an elephant in your neighborhood. That can
There you
kind of
go.
like
Yeah, they're probably on
create
their
a
way
little
over.
mystery and wonderment.
Can you digi us one more time?
Sure.
On the other
At
end?
This angle?
The other end.
No, I mean this is fine.
It works, so.
Not too
Pretty
aggressive.
dark.
Nice.
I know
Okay.
you guys would like the music with like a little guitar, little like delay.
Oh, there we go. There we go. All right.
Yeah,
So
music. You're trying to get to the bottom of who I am.
Yeah. So you were born in,
Were you born?
or no? You came from another
no,
planet.
No,
another
I
time.
actually was born at Summer of Love. It was like
69.
Okay.
67, and
Oh.
67.
know.
Sweet Cars came out in that
I'm
year.
old, but yeah, Summer of Love, San Francisco. It was a great time.
Wow.
Yeah, man, natural childbirth. They came in, I got blotted, and I was like reborn. No, but I was raised in a very conservative family associated with the Rothschilds,
Huh.
Ah.
stuff like that.
People know that.
I
name.
always had resistance to it. I was,
So you
I
rebelled against it.
think my spirit did.
Yeah.
Even early on, I remember being chased in a shamanic dream and faced the demons, and I let them chop me up into little pieces and laughed at them because I recognized it was a dream, and it was their problem,
Ah.
not mine.
How powerful of you.
It was a good thing that I had those instincts at a young age, but then I forgot.
So you were in the Rothschilds kind of orbit. Like you're not a Rothschild, but you were around when they were doing
I
stuff.
wasn't connected really at all. Just I saw, my father worked as a stockbroker, and then he became a money manager. And my godfather,
well, I mean-
godfather is connected to the Reagans. So there's that. There's name dropping.
Keep
It's
going,
not
keep
really
going.
That much.
It's not
you
about
know.
name dropping, but about like so
Interesting
early
history.
yeah, interesting history, early childhood effect. How did this?
Well,
what was
there
it like?
A kind of I don't know. I mean, I think I was fairly independently minded at a young age, and I was betrayed
Oh,
at a young age because they, I think, are somewhat sociopathic.
that group.
Yeah, because they're raised by nannies, and so their social connection with like mom, dad. I think it's people have the same issue today with technology. Gets too much of a buffer, and so there's that kind of separation. And so they're, I think they were loving, but at the same time, kind of oblivious. So I was like left alone when I was one. For like 3 weeks.
For
Were you-
with nannies.
Yeah,
you have
with
siblings?
my grandma. And they went off to Barbados or something like that.
Do you have siblings?
But it didn't. I remember I was like, that had yeah, I have a brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a born again Christian
Now,
and a magician, good magician.
Huh.
But yeah, he's not a very accountable person.
Oh. How would you describe your early childhood spirituality? What was the home spiritual world like?
Well, I was kind of into it. I was sort of like charging ahead with like wanting to go to church and like praying for miracles. And
So you were into Jesus.
no, not at all.
What were you? What was the home religion?
Well, we're Christian. I mean, we were Episcopalian, but I didn't really buy into any of it, like from a dogmatic point of view.
Oh, you
At a young age, I
okay.
sort of was chiseling out my own, the idea of prayer. And, I noticed something that's really kind of absurd and funny, I'll mention, is that I swear to God, on Sundays, when I would pray, my farts didn't stink. That was one of the...
Yeah.
That has something to do with Sunday brunch or
Intelligently-
something?
That was evidence.
That's an intelligently designed
My farts didn't-
gastrointestinal system.
We were
No,
just
they
talking
did.
about
I was
poop,
like, why
too.
I was like, what the hey? I would like test. I'd be like, damn, it's Sunday again.
Should only fart on Sundays.
Well, actually, if you actually studied, like, I studied a lot of yoga and lived in a cave in India for a while, and that was kind of a powerful experience. And the effect of wasn't monitoring my gas so much. Although in India, it's funny, people have so much stomach problem that they will constantly talk about the most wretched things. And it's
I've had the
normal.
most wretched diarrhea.
Yeah, it's a normal event. But purifying the body with spiritual stuff does have a effect on your body odor. I mean, for example, at the Berkeley hot tub, a place you guys have maybe have heard of. It's like, at the time it was completely public. You could just go in there and take a hot tub. And this guy set it up for free. Really nice community event. And this one guy showed up and he'd just
Esalen, no.
been around.
No, that's
Essex,
down south.
Essex. Eslen's a natural one. But this was in like downtown Berkeley.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Anyway, this guy had just seen a shooting, violence, and you could smell it. I mean, it was like all over the guy. The guy stunk.
Wow.
So, and I flew to Kashmir a long time ago and almost got killed in a crossfire.
Huh.
Just getting off the airplane, the immediate, effect is like, oh my God, this place stinks. And like bad.
Huh.
It smells like death.
You like, what does death
It smells like
smell?
poo-poo.
Yeah,
Ah.
like
Yeah,
rotting
poo-poo, blood, it just smells bad.
rot.
I've been so fortunate as to never experience smelling death.
Yeah, if you're
So
ever in
lucky.
a war zone, it's in a sort of area like Kashmir, the Middle East.
Yeah. I mean,
The-
after 9/11, if you went to New York, it was pretty pungent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got
Wow.
you got a death smell there
Yeah, big time.
near the. Oh, okay. And it was.
Yeah, and dogs, the hunting dogs would get just depressed. They were
Really?
like really depressed. Yeah, the dogs that would hunt for survivors,
Oh.
they would just refuse to work eventually.
Wow.
Yeah,
Because it was so.
It was too depressing
it
for
was
the
too
dogs.
depressing for the dogs even. Yeah.
See, dogs love.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff about 9/11 that I could share, but I'm actually unclear if it would be safe for me to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
'Cause the
I don't know.
CIA
Well, we
I
want
don't
you.
know
We
where
want you to
this-
be safe.
I don't know where this is all going.
Well,
Podcast.
it's gonna go where we want it
Just who
to.
checks it out?
I mean, YouTube, iTunes.
Are we all like past this idea that 9/11 was possibly an orchestrated deal? Are we all kind of like okay with that? Or you guys,
I am of the firm
mean,
belief that it's at
maybe,
least partially an inside job.
okay.
I'm of the firm belief that we allowed it to happen at the minimum. The NORAD stand down alone is like, what are you talking about? Like,
Uh-huh.
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Let alone Building 7, and it was never on fire, and it collapsed in place.
A lot of questions. You're saying.
I think that there's too much free fall video to compare these buildings to.
A lot of question
Grab
marks.
another one right there if you want.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, there's too many question marks, too many free fall building videos that look like 9/11, and no building has ever collapsed from fire. In fact, that building's been crashed into by airplanes before.
Oh,
and-
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it
But
meant like
not a jet.
no, but not as big a jet. But it was already crashed into, and it had been blown up too. It's like there's too much.
The example I like to use, can I?
Please.
It's just the concept. I like to draw these sort of parallels to kind of clarify it. It's easy to see, like, if something's out of tune, for example, and you give a backdrop of like another tuning, and you can tell, like, are you C sharp and 25 cents? And you just
Okay.
add the little background of C sharp period, and you'll know exactly if you're sharp or flat. So if you look at a surveillance camera at like some beat up garage, okay, in the middle of nowhere in Alabama, and some schmuck goes there and robs them, there's some video footage of this guy robbing them, some 2-bit little garage, right? Now I don't know what the price tag is on the Pentagon, but it's expensive. I know they have like super surveillance,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so why the fuck
Is there
would
no?
there be no footage?
There is footage. They
No,
took it.
I just saw a little flash.
Yeah.
I see no head on, and there's
Well,
no
they didn't release the footage.
no evidence of
An
any
airplane.
kind of profile or wings. Anyway,
Or
I
engines,
See I don't see any reason. I mean, I thought the whole thing was a setup in the get go before I even saw the buildings come down.
Really?
I was talking to an Iranian guy, and the night before I was dreaming about getting bitten by mosquitoes that had processed some anthrax pathogen, and I was to become immune to the plague that the terrorist unleashed.
Well, that's a good dream, but kind of
But it
creepy.
was a kind of a creepy time.
Yeah.
9/11.
Could people said they could feel? Sorry, bam. People said
Yeah.
they could feel 9/11 before it happened. Like
Yeah.
there are random number generators that spiked right before it happened all
believe
over the world.
Oh yeah, I mean the day before
Spiked with non-randomness.
Oklahoma
excuse me.
City bombing, I was shocked out of my bed by have you ever had falling dreams? This was like
No.
a falling up dream. I was like
I have
literally-
those when I'm falling asleep. When I lay down in bed, I'll have a falling dream.
right, and this was just like, but it was like an explosion, and like I felt. Anyway, it's interesting the kind of connection that we have, and
Are you feeling confident that 9/11 was at least partially an inside job?
I don't see how it could not have been because of the timing and the lack of transparency. So.
And the insurance right beforehand, and then the money right after.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of evidence to show that there was some kind of privy, but I mean, like one CIA operative said, "Well, that happened, and there's other stuff, in the works. We have to just forget about it. I mean, not forget, but
Gotta remember to never
looking
forget.
I mean, my latest thing is this whole thing. We demonized Assad and did this and that, and then now we've whatever. We're just in a kind of quagmire of weird, vague stuff, around Medicare, where it's kind of coming close to home and getting some of the middle American people maybe riled up. Golly gee, there's a whole bunch of them out there. Billy Bob and Bill Sue.
Well, Billy Bob and Billy Sue make up the majority of this country, I think.
Yeah, and they're the one they got sharp pitchforks and they have to shoot a rifle.
Yeah, and they got a few rifles.
They got a few rifles, and they got staying power.
Okay.
So anyway, I don't know those folks.
So-
at some point might become highly disgruntled, but I think that the whole idea,
Yeah.
the whole idea of them being out of the box and creative is a whole new shoe. But you never know. The 100th monkey factor could kick in, and it could be like wildfire.
Now, I know what the 100th monkey factor is, but would you mind explaining it to our audience?
Well, it's just like if you look at popularity of something, suddenly something becomes super popular, and there was an experiment done back. It's a book called The 100th Monkey by I think Ken Keyes. It's written
Ken
back-
Kesey? Like
No.
Wavy Gravy?
No, his name's Ken Keyes.
Oh,
with the
excuse me.
Keyes, and kind of a new age guy.
Okay.
Transpersonal psychology and all that. That's what I took a transpersonal psychology class from a guy named Bob Jones.
Transpersonal
Sounds psychology legit. here
with Bob Jones.
Yeah.
You want his name to be
Bob would have
Anra
us laugh in class just for fun.
Did you want his
but-
name to be Ananana Kranda Dazana Banda or something like that? Would that be more normal?
No, I think Bob was just fine
Okay.
with his simplicity.
J.R.
you know.
Bob Dobbs.
But anyway, the bottom line.
Get to the
The
bottom
bottom
of
line.
this.
is
bobbin
that
line?
they did an experiment giving monkeys sweet potatoes and on Japanese islands, and when the certain number of monkeys learned the behavior of washing the potato, it happened that every monkey suddenly did it, not only on that island but the other islands, and there was this kind of invisible hand that kind of did sign like, look, watch potato, then good, and so they all kind of like
Get the dirt off the
Wow.
they all
potato.
cosmically kind of like got it, it's kind of
Really?
yeah.
Weird.
So looking at I think that kind of accounts for some of this behavior that we've been seeing with this sort of fundamentalism, because human beings. This is why I wore my little cow shirt today, because
Okay.
there's this kind of thing like my father's into like go Bears, and like we're into like go Warriors, and this kind of monkey like behavior of like we're really into it, and this is like. We're driven, we kind of like, why? And like, well, because, and you just have this kind of blind animal, like, we're part of the team.
Mhm.
So people have been parking them their minds into these convenient places because the world's just too complicated and intense and
Yeah.
too hard to understand. And like,
Hmm.
you know, I don't know if you like read this newspaper and watch Fox News or just whatever. I mean, just everything's going so fast. I think a lot of people want to simplify. And so how do they do that? They just suddenly believe the Earth is flat. You know,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
phenomenon bores. It doesn't bore me. I'm frightened by that. You can look now and see live images of the curvature of the Earth.
Right.
But even I have people who I call friends who are like, I don't know, Drew. I mean, have you? I'm like, no.
You have friends that actually say that?
Yeah,
Well,
Who
see, they're-
flat earthers?
I have a couple of flat earther friends. It's
That's-
true.
Huh.
That's a thing, and that's a kind of, you know, it's mentally ill, but it's like we can agree on. I mean, it's clearly an insane thing. But it's just like if I suddenly I had to, hey Betty, hey thanks, you know, whatever. I can't really do this, but, you know, pretend that I have like some bodacious blonde.
Okay.
That's like my cheerleader wherever I go,
Sure.
and just this is going to help me along.
Mm.
So I just suddenly
An imaginary
do
friend.
this to kind of for my self-esteem or feeling of security. I have a feeling that the flat earthers, it's again a simplification. We're just, it's all fine. We're all going to heaven.
I'll go to
Everything-
heaven in a white.
As Jack Kerouac said, this microphone's going to heaven. And
This piece of refrigerator or that thing going to
it's
heaven?
It's all going to heaven.
What are we gonna do with all this stuff in heaven?
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
What about the leaves we see? They fall,
That's
they
a lot of stuff.
compost. Do they
Well, I
go to
guess they
heaven?
can kind of hide them in the clouds. But
Oh, totally. Because
course.
planes, I mean, that would be fine for airplanes.
I thought Jack was pretty astute with that one. He looked like he was, like 95% liquor.
95%
That poor
liquor.
guy.
Yeah.
A
Well, he
born,
was.
a born healer becoming genius writer, and then he like kind of hits. He just he was a flame.
Yeah, he just
a fireball.
yeah.
Yeah.
High burning.
Gotta love him. Anyway, Jack Kerouac, everybody, reach out and touch someone. All right.
All right.
So, conspiracy. But I'll tell you another thing about since we're talking about 9/11. Are we okay with 9/11?
We're okay with 9/11.
we're okay.
So I just bring this to people's attention. I play chess, and it's like thinking. If you think about things, they understand the motivation of somebody. And for example, if somebody is like your spouse and lying to you or whatnot, then you kind of get cues, right, that they might be lying or something might be coming on, right? I mean, if, for example, I don't know if you've dealt with that before, but there's
Well, I
like,
have, but I'm in a relationship now that it's different.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's okay to lie.
Well, we don't. Well, or if we did, we would admit quickly or something. Like we're pretty communicative.
Right. I think that's the only way. I mean, that's like sane because you're like helping. But I think tendency for people to get off page with any kind of relationship, and start playing a game. But I'm sorry. I was
So
kinda
September 11th.
going back.
Yeah,
So my point. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So I'm.
Yeah, I got distracted because you brought
I got the Wii
more substance.
I'm gonna light this up. If that's all right.
automatically went into like forgetful mode, but it's similar. The whole idea of just asking questions and seeing the cues about motivation. You start understanding people's motivations. So yeah, there's just such a tendency to get behind this kind of rah team thing, and like suddenly we're like, okay, look, Assad kills babies. And we're all like, okay,
Poisoned his people.
yeah. Oh,
Did
are
he?
you gonna say like, oh, that's not bad? Of course you're gonna say it's bad because it's like, oh, it's like the worst thing. It's exactly what Saddam Hussein did, and apparently he's like second cousin or something of Saddam Hussein. Apparently,
Assad.
yeah.
Ah, fuck.
I know, but and it's twisted.
I like
though.
how he talks. I want him to be a good guy.
Assad is a nice guy.
Weirdly,
It's
is.
hard to even know because
He's
they're
not
so removed from actually
He's
meeting
like-
these people.
Yeah.
He's like, but if you look at it in an interview, I mean, he's not a blathering, slobbering madman.
No.
And so if he's being attacked by all these different people, okay, why would he then turn around just like randomly poison a bunch of, like, there might be some militants there, but like, do the most self-incriminating act possible with no like a utility. There was no utility behind
Right.
what he did. So it's like, duh. And it perfectly sets us up to whatever. We're going to send it. We're going to blast off, $1 billion of bombs and put some.
Yeah, we took an airfield out, right?
Kind of. I mean,
Supposedly.
we dented it. It cost a lot of, like your entire life salary times, 100.
I think that was
Okay.
more of a psychological attack. Use the biggest bomb that we have on a non-target.
Oh no, that was in the biggest bomb was, isn't that in?
That was a different
Afghanistan.
target.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
that was
okay.
Afghanistan.
Right,
Because
right,
Assad,
right.
we bombed his airfield
Yeah.
Right.
We sent
because he poisoned
fancy
his own
cruise
people,
missiles in.
supposedly.
And then there were jets taken off like
But
the
then
next
the
day.
story about the
Yeah.
gas only lingered so long, and it was kind of it kind of blew away. We didn't talk, and then we didn't keep going after Assad. Oh, he just killed a bunch of babies. Why wouldn't we just charge in there and get Assad? Rah, rah, rah. Now the Soviets have played a very cool game with the whole thing, but it's a very unfortunate picture. I don't know. I'm more concerned with domestic issues.
So, okay, domestic issues, internal terror, or destruction. Like, do we have a problem of false flag, inside job operations in general?
I'm sure. I mean, I think it really depends on the popularity of the president, and if his little Joker versus Batman, kind of, he's like the Joker, I think. Like this little
The current P dog?
collection of goons, It's like really.
Well, draining the swamp and then bringing in billionaires from the swamp is like a funny thing.
So I don't have a lot of faith that these people are going to be effective. North and South Korea apparently just signed a peace treaty. Like, get these guys. Trump was just like a fucking troublemaker.
You could swear on the show.
You're allowed to
Oh,
fucking
okay.
cuss on this
Oh,
show,
okay.
man.
Great,
Free to be
great.
you.
Great. I'm trying to cut back, but
Eh.
Fuck it.
This
Fuck
is
it.
really important to recognize that, like, the world and the American people, for that matter, can take the bull by the horns. And if
Wait, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. Tell me what that means.
Well, in this case, North and South Korea avoided any U.S. involvement, and they signed a treaty. They said, "Okay,
When did that happen?
this happened.
Just fucking happened?
Just fucking happened." God damn it.
Fuck!
Just one.
That's
1
great
minute ago.
news.
I
Isn't that
know,
great
I know. We
news?
don't have anything to complain about now.
Isn't that great news?
Yeah, I mean, China has all these new, whatever their Dragon 15, whatever they're called. Anyway, they're like a fancy new multiple, warhead missile that can reach Tampa Bay. They set them up on January 23rd this year, just right before Trump was set in. And so, they're like going, hello. They're all set up in Manchuria. They can reach the United States in like 30 minutes, I think. And they can reach like Florida in 45 minutes. I mean, darn fast.
That's pretty
And
fast.
you can't shoot them down. So they just like set up.
Can't shoot 'em down.
No, they can't. And they're just like, okay, look, guys, here we are. So there's all these strong players on the table that are sincere, and Trump's just like a character from like Douglas Adams, like Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy. Like, he's just gonna go skipping off into his imaginary like spacecraft and like leave the planet. He's not. He doesn't have an imaginary spacecraft.
You think he's acting that way?
Well, 35 psychologists from Yale just said, hey, he's crazy. They said he's delusional, man, and on top of being a narcissist. We have a Dr. Strangelove situation. But Dr. Strangelove is the sane fun, and how Trump is the general
Hair Trump.
general ripper.
I don't know. You can't be that successful and be insane.
Well, I would say that
That's my opinion.
He's clever, but I think that in terms of
I think he's way smarter than people give him credit for.
oh really, okay, and well, I'm a Gemini, so I can kind of relate to his personality based on
Is he a Gemini?
Well,
yeah,
he's also a New Yorker, and that's how he deals with things.
yeah. I have an appreciation for his style a little bit, but I just think that so far what I've seen, it's just it's all. I don't see anything enabled by his position at all. That's has any moral fiber.
Hmm.
Whereas Barack Obama strikes me as somebody that had moral fiber.
Hmm.
But I think Trump talks kind of in an exciting tone. But I mean, I don't know. The question all the people, I guess, in my general camp is just that, what has he done? That's kind of the main question.
Well, I don't think we
that,
fully know what he's done.
well, he's certainly tried to shoot down a bunch of stuff. So, and he's shot down one Syrian jet. So,
Well,
anyway,
Yeah.
we have to judge
there's
people
plenty.
by that.
There's plenty of space to talk about the president, our current president, right? And it's like
Yeah, not many people have talked about him.
it's like all anyone talks about, right?
Right.
So it's like I think it's good to spend some time giving opinion, and I think it's easy to critique him, and it's much harder to find like really valuable assets. You have to sort of story tell and hope and dance around some things.
Mm.
But people do find like things like, well, he did this and he's done that and you didn't know, but he actually lowered this to that. But there's like little things you hear.
Okay.
It's super easy, and I regularly do, and probably will continue to criticize our current president
Yeah.
because I find him to be repulsive.
Right. The people that want to shoot him down, though, see, you gotta ask
But see, like, but shooting is like no violence though, because like I'm like, okay, give him a shot.
Shooting down is a metaphor.
Right.
To take down.
Figurative
just
shooting
for clarity
down.
here. For those in the audience that might not have a literary
We've
role.
taken this show on the road. We went out to a free speech chat, and the podcast for Empathy and Imagination went out to Antifa and Trump supporters at a spot, and we interviewed both sides, and we walked around and did a thing,
Nice.
and it was cool. And there was the overwhelming number one surprise for me, and fact to be gathered was it was Antifa causing the trouble.
Antifa?
Antifa.
And what's Antifa?
See?
I don't know.
The quote-unquote anti-fascists. They were the ones.
There's an anti-Trump.
They were the ones
group.
acting the most fascist.
They were blowing bombs up and they were throwing
Yeah.
things at people.
Oh, this is the guys dressed in the black?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In the photographs I saw.
But the Trump supporters were reliably calm. In fact, they brought in a motorcycle group to act as extra security to keep the peace, and they stayed calm.
And the pattern that we saw that day has only repeated itself every time Antifa and the Trump supporters show up.
Is this in Cal Berkeley?
This is right at
Yeah, this was right
Okay.
in front of City Hall.
Yeah, I saw that from my boat. Actually, I was out sailing and I saw smoke
Yeah.
rising up from there. It was
we
very
were filming.
very dramatic.
Yeah,
I
well,
saw
we
this
had
big
to go.
plume of smoke. It was really fun.
Yeah,
Thought, well,
helicopters
something's
just hovering
going
over
on.
there.
Yeah, but yeah, it sounds like the behavior was this question I brought up to a millennial today who was over picking some berries and giving me some of my goods back. He was eBaying. He's one of my mentors.
Okay.
Uh,
A millennial mentor.
Yeah,
Oof.
mentor. Yeah. that's
Yeah, your mentor doesn't have to be older than you.
Joke slip, really.
Well, we got a Gen Xer and a millennial here on the show, so
That's
you know.
true.
Okay, great.
Gen X represent. And
anyway, yeah, he's of the opinion that violent solutions would not work.
Yeah.
And so I
Well,
think
that's why
I'm
we have
st-
free
I'm
speech,
sticking-
so we
I'm
can
sticking
avoid
with the
violence.
Nonviolent.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that were supporting the Black Panthers, and I don't want to ruffle any Black Panther feathers, but the
Yeah.
approach of that versus like King, it looks like the King approach, is also during a slightly different cultural period.
Right.
And
You
things were
think that's a better
changing.
approach than the more like Black
Well,
Lives
it had
Matter
enough-
thing?
It had a stain. It seemed to have some real power.
Real lasting effect
Yeah.
more so.
I mean, I think the Black Panther thing, from my limited understanding, was very specific to stuff that was happening, I think, in Philadelphia. Anyway, in that arena.
Do you have since we're on the topic,
Yeah.
and then we'll eventually are going to steer you off to another topic.
All right.
But what do you
Glad
think
guys
about
are-
Black
I'm
Lives?
not organized.
Good. Black Lives Matter.
Well, I saw a post today from a friend that was frowning on it a little bit based on her experience at the event. I don't know if it was a gathering or supposed to be a protest, but there was an exclusionary aspect as opposed to the. There was not. It was not welcoming to non-African Americans.
Oh darn!
That was her take on it. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Is your friend? What race is your friend?
She's White, yeah.
White person?
So I don't know. I mean, she's also pretty crazy.
Okay. Well,
I wouldn't really.
It's a mitigating factor.
I mean, not that. I mean, I would say only 25% of my friends are loosely crazy. But she's
Not
in
professionally?
The she's in the 5%.
I'm professionally
I
crazy.
don't know her very well, but I know that she's a wild cannon. But
this is a little slow. You gotta.
slow,
Huh.
yes. Slow in, slow out. So I'm trying to promote slow, although I move too fast myself. That's one reason. We're sitting here just outside the Hype Ray from Berkeley and Oakland
Yeah.
in a little town called Crockett, and it's kind of a forgotten place,
Isn't it?
forgotten works.
Yeah. This is
Kind of
Gradient
Yeah.
Studios.
Richard Brautigan country with
Ah,
nice
yes.
warm air and ripe fruit.
It's nice here.
Trout fishing in America.
You know, we can actually relax here and spread out and make noise. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I mean, this is like the heart of America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is I mean, America really is great.
It really
I mean,
is.
have
Yeah.
you guys like been in the
Yeah.
experience how great America?
I've left the country a couple of times, and
We should
and
make
was
America great again. That would be cool.
Like, oh,
No, America's already great.
it already is fucking
I think it was,
amazing.
he was just talking about. Yeah, he's probably just like throwing that out there.
But the thing is, his lawyers wrote that or whatever, and that phrase
His
is to
lawyers.
say that was somehow better before, but in fact we're in continual improvement. That's how life goes. So
Yeah. It's a brilliant phrase, no, for sure.
Make America great,
Yeah.
again,
brilliant.
Yeah.
You feel
I mean, say what you want about Trump, but his marketing is pretty spot on.
okay. Make America great.
Because it's aspirational, right?
Okay.
Make America great
Uh-huh.
again.
Again.
And think about Hillary's slogan. What was it?
better together,
See, you can't even remember it.
Oh yeah. better.
Stronger,
Was that it?
stronger
stronger
together.
together. Was that
Hard
it?
to say. Not very aspirational,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah, and we need a new narrative, and
I
that's
don't
that's
know.
all.
I mean, Trump's thing is again just this kind of
He's a
put yourself in a little like just it's like Matrix-esque. You
Yeah.
know, it's like just shut off. Don't think about everything. Everything's just great.
I think we
Yeah.
agree that one of the main core underlying things that feels like there's a problem with what's going on is we don't have a narrative. We don't have a story we're trying to propel. We don't have heroes and villains. We have the market, and we have the market against everyone. So everyone's against everyone in the market.
Well,
every dollar is owned by
culturally,
one
we
person.
we don't have an aspirational narrative
Yes, so
like we did
need
in the
that.
in the in the 60s. You know, it was like let's go to space, let's go to the moon.
Mm.
Yeah, and now we're
And
like,
now
let's
it's like,
make
well-
the most money.
No, now it's like what's the next app
Business, yeah.
gonna be? What's the next startup?
Hmm.
And that's to me that's super
Well,
boring.
the like 70s were about like fun. Like
Yeah.
I mean, explore the spiritual, the body,
Spiritual.
the grow food. I mean, people were kind of practicing the 60s stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
once. There was that. That was one slice of the past.
And it was always like the year 2000. That's gonna be the future. And then we hit the year 2000, and it was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, well, it's
And the
computers.
towers just fell, and the world sucks, and everything's fucked up.
Computers
Okay.
started kicking in.
Let's make some more money and make some more apps.
Yeah.
So I think we sort of lost our mojo.
Well, I think the mojo is it's the soul, and
Yeah.
it's like the connection. So that's where, like in the 70s, people were more hands-on, and things started getting more and more remote, and things got
Yeah.
all kind of militarized by Reagan. I remember that like cutoff. It was very violent because I moved from Oakland to Lafayette, and
Mhm.
Lafayette they used words like tar baby.
Wow.
Yeah, You got any tar baby friends? They asked me. I was like, what? I'm from
Ooh.
Oakland, you know. Like we
Meaning African American?
yeah, we used words in Oakland like homeboy, cool. You know, we were sincere.
Cat?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we were like, whatever, motherfucker. But
So it
we
wasn't
were-
so serious.
No, yeah, it was like, it was more fun, and it was like, it was kind of, we kind of had our own little black way about it, you know, even in Montclair. 'Cause-
Huh.
So there was a lot of it, you know, it was fairly integrated. Lafayette, no, it was very white
Hmm.
and very, it was, you know, and they used words like neat and swell, like from Leave It to Beaver, I swear to God. I was like, where they got that from? But that
Neato.
was their lingo,
Yeah.
the local kids' lingo. Neat, and like nice face. Well,
Nice face.
Nice face.
Nice face.
What a
Like
weird
these little
compliment.
rats, they did not understand. They did not understand cool at all.
Have a nice face.
Culture shock. So yeah, Reagan took office, and then it was very, you know, things became much more macho. It was that kind of thing, and I think Trump is kind of mirroring a little bit of that. You know, it's this kind of thing from Obama being the, you know, feely, you know, liberal or whatever, enabling everybody, you know, to be like happy. You know, it's like, no, we gotta buckle down on those people. They're having too much fun. Yeah,
Trump's
like,
Trump
have
is
to
so blustery.
monopolize
He's
fun.
so like full of bluster. You know. He can't. It seems like he can't restrain himself.
Yeah.
Sometimes
He's just lying so often.
I think he's just ill-equipped for the job.
lying, A/B testing. Call it what you want.
Ill-equipped. I don't think he's in the wrong job. You know, it's like not his thing. He's not somebody that wants to be all connected to the American people and bother with that. He can like barely make a connection with his like wife and stuff.
They
His
say he's
kids.
just very not. There's not people close to him as a
They-
person.
They say that.
They
They
say.
say.
They.
I got they glasses.
They say. I want to meet they because they say a lot of stuff.
We should have they on the podcast.
You should.
My friend talks about the they.
They.
Yeah, that's his term for they. The they.
The they.
I've always been fond of that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Some people think that they like have tunnels underneath America and
Oh.
chemtrails. Are you guys chemtrails?
Like the Morlocks.
You guys don't believe in chemtrails, do you? That they're
Well, I worked as a
geoengineering-
flight attendant for a long time,
And what happened?
and
Did you see them loading the ship up with the airplane up with special?
they weren't. They didn't. What I think happened was there were a few military spraying cloud control experiments, and then that was probably it.
Okay. Interesting.
What are they? What is this chemtrails? What are they apparently, supposedly,
Metals.
allegedly,
I think aluminum dust.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to make everyone sick?
It's to inoculate the soil, and people measured soil.
Inoculate?
Well, to sterilize.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
In
Yeah, what's the-
Washington,
what's
there
that-
was a people
Why would
who
they
who
wanna
were they were talking about
sterilize?
chemtrails overhead, and they measured their soil over the years, and they found an increase in these metals only after the chemtrails overhead in their soil in these farms out in the Pacific Northwest. Man,
Yeah, I always ask, like, what's the motivation? What's the end game? What is the
Right, that's what
motivation
I'm saying.
behind
That's
all
the
these
question.
Control.
conspiracies?
control.
But I mean, if you just live in a hellscape, eventually, wouldn't that screw you? Wouldn't you be screwing yourself over in the long run, or your family?
Well, especially if you really were taking it seriously. You know, like
Yeah.
Y2K. I knew this one guy. He built a special, like, foam survival, like, geodesic dome. You know, foam geodesic dome.
For Y2K.
For Y2K?
Yeah, and just buried himself like out in the desert. And was gonna, you know, he was out there with his kids. During
Yeah,
the
people
night.
were so worried about that.
He's a maniac.
It sounds kind of fun though to be out with your kids in the desert. That
yeah, I
sounds
think.
kind
I
of
mean,
cool.
I think Greg enjoyed the whole process, but
Yeah.
it was a waste of money. he just couldn't get a job, so he did this instead. His wife was.
I can't get a job,
She
so I'm
brought
just going
the
to
bread
spend a
home.
bunch of money.
His wife brought the bread home. So it was
That's funny.
compensation, motivation.
So, what do you think what's the next Y2K going to be?
Oh, I don't know.
It seems like China wouldn't want to bomb us because we buy all their stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a terrible thing to think about. But if I start dreaming about
Yeah.
mosquitoes again,
Number one killer.
you never know.
Mosquitoes are the number one killer.
I mean, yeah, I've had some nuclear bomb dreams lately. They were fairly believable. Anyway, been a little bit of a pattern this last year.
Mm.
But
Burning Man is sort of like a prep, like for a post-apocalyptic survival.
Yeah, I've gone for
'Cause
the
it's
last
so
5
hard.
years.
kind of.
it's so
more a
harsh.
You been?
fashion- It's like post-apocalyptic fashion.
But it's, I mean,
no,
it's,
where it's
I just
fun.
mean,
You
I
said
just mean
fun.
it's so
It's fun.
It's
Fun.
so
It is
harsh.
fun.
That's what I mean.
I
Like
had
the
a lot of
environment
fun.
is so harsh.
I
and
had a
it's-
lot of fun there. It was.
I mean,
When did
imagine-
you go?
Oh, I went about 3 years ago, I reckon, and
Oh, so you guys were both there the same year?
We were there the same year.
I had a longboard, and
Oh, I didn't see you.
Yeah, the
Anyway,
surfing's great out there.
no, it was great. I would get people to tow me.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
push along real fast. Big
Huh.
wheels, dirt board.
Oh, dirt. Okay.
Dirt
So-
yeah,
board.
yeah, yeah.
Dirt longboard.
That's a
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's a good thing.
It was really fun. Yeah.
Did you have your
And
sitar?
then I did. I played for a mermaid. That was my greeting. Like I was carrying the sitar on the longboard, dirt board, and then this mermaid came along, and like we sat like under a rock, you know, in the ocean of Burning Man, and I played sitar for her.
That's
Anyway,
cool.
It's a delightful beginning.
It's a lovely place, isn't it? Burning Man.
Yeah, I mean all the weather.
Sure.
Sure. No, I was channeling a friend there. Anyway,
So you've only been once. I've
yeah,
only been
only
once
one,
too. I went
yeah.
last year for the first time.
Yeah, I'm not a real big fan. I didn't really feel any kind of heart. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like part of the Burning Man tribe. I didn't get a burner name. You know, I figure if
Right.
you're like really into the thing, somehow you can kind of tell, you know, certain people if they're marked.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
You just know.
Yeah.
They've been they're in.
Well, I bear the mark.
They probably will die and go to Burning Man planet.
Yeah,
you know,
that
when
sounds
they
cool.
die.
That sounds
You know.
cool.
Would that be like Io, like the moon of Jupiter that's all volcanoes?
Oh yeah, that's the name of my boat.
Io.
I guess I might be
Io.
halfway
Nice.
Nice. There we go.
Yeah,
All right.
she had a tough life.
I got an idea.
Yeah.
Why don't you hand me that baby? And I want to show you guys this video. We're going to do this topic.
Okay.
And I'm going to get your guys' reactions. Let's talk about it a little bit, see what we can
All right.
learn.
We'll have one more there.
Yeah, thank you.
Io, here we come.
Io.
Set the controls for Io.
So, technical
There
fun.
you go.
Okay, guys, you
Okay.
watching?
What's your name again?
Aubrey.
What?
Aubrey.
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 Cool. Good like East Coast name.
Sounds like a southern
Yeah,
boy
maybe
name.
Aubrey. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. More southern. I can't really see that. What am I looking at here?
Here it goes. Ready?
Yeah, from like.
So with a flush toilet, basically you take really nice clean drinking water and our shit and mix the two together. Both wonderful resources. When you mix them together, you create a toxic problem.
You guys know about.
So with a compost toilet system, you're able to capture that amazing resource and take care of it and treat it in a way that removes any pathogens or problems and create a wonderful resource. You know, why would you buy in manure when you've got this resource right here? We basically use the style of toilet described by Jay Jenkins in his Human Manure Handbook, which is essentially just doing your business into buckets and covering it with nice cover material, most usually sawdust, and then we hot compost it in a pallet framed compost.
Composting toilets, like composting your own shit, processing your own toilet waste, is a real basic fundamental
Yeah.
thing that we should all
I
practice.
wish I brought some
It's
of my fruit. You know, just I didn't have time. But, the mulberries, man.
Oh, God. It's been loading this whole time.
That's weird.
It is really weird.
It's very English.
I can't imagine it.
This is a great place.
Isn't this nice?
Yeah. How long have you guys been here?
Since December. All right, well, we'll get back to that
Our internet went down.
again.
People.
Yeah, so poop toilets.
Poop toilets. So they're saying.
So if you think about marine toilets and the trouble they have, and you think about where all the water's going from all of our poop, I want to use a little empathy and imagination, maybe get your
Yes.
topic on, like, okay,
Yeah.
so closing the loop, human manure, composting your own poop, and then doing it correctly, scientifically, with measurements, and then you use it to put in the soil, and then stuff will grow from it that you can
Yeah,
then
it's
eat
not
again.
that complicated. When I was a kid in Oakland, we went on a tour. This was how the schools used to be. We had all this like free time and little funds to go cruising around. And we saw a completely sustainable house where they recycled their urine, their poop, and
Huh.
this really nice garden. It was, you know, they were like happy. Anyway,
So it was
Not a rocket. You know, it wasn't. It's been around for a long time. You know, people do it all over Baja. You know, in India, they have like no choice.
compost your own
They just let it compost.
effluvium and
Yeah.
then use it as
So we take chemicals out of hydrocarbons and spray them all over to try to reinsert the chemicals into the ground that we extract, and then we poop in our drinking water and turn them both into poison by that process. And then we're wasting both directions all the way around.
Yeah, and then there's the issue of all the chemicals that people take, of the especially antibiotics, and then all that gets
In our
mixed
poop.
up. It goes right through you, folks.
You think it's fear of
Yeah.
shit because
Yeah.
shit represents death?
Yes, it's I call it fecophilia, but it's actually called something else.
I think shit, death, and money are all symbols for the same thing.
Hmm.
Or shit and money are the symbols for death. But
I have to think about that one.
Check this out.
but you can't pay for things with shit.
This is
Yeah.
Flex
Well,
Mag about phobias. Fear of feces. Feces is the natural byproduct of the
There's
digestive
aspects of
system.
everything.
While it is viewed as an unpleasant by most people, they do not have a phobia with regard to its presence in their lives. However, some people with coprophobia, which is
Coprophobia, yeah.
caprophobia, have an aversion to feces that is intense and persistent.
Huh.
Why do people develop this phobia?
There's
There's
also
not much to like about
Well,
feces.
it
It's
become-
simply part of life for most people. It's something everything has to put up with, from changing dirty diapers to dealing with your own digestive ailments and complaints.
yeah.
There's rarely a sense of pleasure when we focus on feces. This ill-smelling substance is the subject of countless bad jokes and punchlines. It's a part of the human and animal condition.
Yeah, and it's only, they're saying it's ill smelling, but that's just subjective, right?
Most poo I know about's bad, but sometimes like you hear like sometimes
mean,
horse poop or
I'm
something.
saying we've evolved to think that it smells bad.
Our
it
own
just
poop.
smells the way it smells.
No, it stinks, man.
well,
cat
it's
shit?
But
Stinks. My dog's poop is incredible.
but no,
yeah, but
it smells
dogs
bad to
dogs
us.
eat their own poop, so
Yeah,
they
they
don't
eat our
think
poop,
their
too.
they don't think their poop
Oh,
smells
that-
bad.
But you're not a dog.
But he's saying
Yeah.
that it
I don't
exists.
just like imagine that it smells bad. Is that what he's?
Well, I'm saying we evolved to
Well, I
consider
think-
it smelling bad.
Well, I think some people, are like hypersensitive about.
Because
you
there
know.
are humans that are coprophilic too, that
Ooh.
that like their own
But
poop.
the symbol of the
Salvador Dali, for
the-
example.
the poop is a symbol. I guess it's the. I mean, if you look at the way that the media is representing stories, there's this, stinky mess left by what they're doing because it's so untrue.
Hmm.
And so there's that aspect of, of the symbol of death and poop. It's like the death of truth. It's like a, it leaves there's a bad,
Okay.
a bad
Emotional
vibe.
fear,
And
yeah.
I think there's that kind of resonant thing in society where there's that feeling of that stuff. And so the what do you do with all the poop? Is a big
Well,
question.
poop used to kill people. We used to poop in the streets,
That
and then our
people
kids would
have
play in it.
all
and-
this poop, and they get rid of it by transferring it to other people.
Yeah, you're transferring it to other people to take care of with water. It's like it's so much more responsible to poop on your own property and like take
right.
care of it.
And don't
Yeah.
step in your own poop or
Well,
others.
just make an area,
Well, don't
avoid poop at all costs.
don't shit where you eat. I think that's the main.
But
Guideline.
But if you shit where you grow food,
You're fine.
but if you eat in the garden,
I'm strongly
Yeah.
considering. I was actually planning on it, but not highly motivated because I have fish and I have fish emulsion in my 5-foot deep pond.
poop.
Okay. Poop.
Mucho poop. And so es
Poop.
muy rica.
Yeah.
Es muy delicioso por las plantas.
Oh man, it's starting to take off. Man. Yeah, I got like 10,000 grapes. I got mulberries, apricots, nectarines.
There you go.
Dang, man. You can do a lot with poop. In this case, this is ancient poop because I live on an ancient poop alluvialness next to the alluvial poop of the Wildcat Creek. It's my coordinates, roughly.
When you think about the Earth is basically one giant compost pile, right?
Well, the soil.
Yeah.
I mean,
Half
people
of
are
the
people
soil.
are living, growing, dying, returning to the soil,
Plants, animals, all of it is.
everything.
Up in Tibet, they let the birds take it away.
Yeah.
You know, you got sky burials.
Sky
You guys don't know sky burial?
Maybe we could have shit
They
satellites.
chop up
Launch our shit
people and
in
offer them
space.
to the ravens. That's the sky burial, or
Ah.
vultures. Excuse me.
That's a good way to go.
Yeah, no, they do a really nice job, and they use nice sharp knives. They're very efficiently hacked up.
Huh.
I think.
You know,
What do they call it?
after they do 28 days or something.
Oh.
Rituals.
Yeah.
They pray over the body, but it's cold up there, so it's not too hard for them to
Huh.
keep the body fresh.
It's more efficient than putting yourself in a box and
Well, I
putting
think
yourself
this
in the
is
ground.
The death factor and the moribund factor here in our society is just that we're lost from caring for the dead and really being careful, and that carefulness is what like creates a real bond and glue. And so,
Mm.
the more of that, the better. But you know, when people pass, we need to be careful. Because you know, the reverence.
When people die,
Well, the respect and the way we handle death often these days seems awfully brief.
Yeah.
And I see like Hispanics in my neighborhood. Like,
Remember
I
when
see
we could-
a lot of them, and they put so much love and so much
Yeah.
care around that event.
Almost like a
Whereas,
party.
You know, I knew a guy that used to take care of pick up dead people up in Eugene, and he said just they'd come and boop, they put it in a rubber bag and off it goes. You know, and in the middle of like Thanksgiving, and Uncle Bob drops, and zoop, he's in the bag, zoop, he's gone. It's just
Put them in a Ziploc
and
bag.
not really a real
ship
good
'em off.
process to kind of like grok the whole death experience.
That's
I mean,
true.
In Stranger in a Strange Land, Martians would eat each other.
Right.
At the
Yeah.
end,
I
that
like that
was-
book.
that was their. You know, they did it.
I grok that.
Yeah, they did this without too much attachment.
Yeah.
Where they did it more as a appreciation versus an attachment.
Yeah.
you guys ready?
Can you hand me a beer and I'll be ready. Thank you, sir.
Cheers. All right, here we go.
What do we got?
We got this.
Okay, that's enough for me.
Composting toilets, like composting your own shit, processing your own toilet waste, is a real basic fundamental thing that we should all practice. It's a simple way of demonstrating self-responsibility. It took us a long time to lose our shit phobia, our phobia of fecal matter. We've lost that now. Not that we handle it, we don't have to handle it. So welcome to our toilet. For a start, it's a composting toilet bucket batch system. We've got cover material, which we use old sawdust from the mill. It's already got bacteria and a bit of fungus in it, it's good. Our toilet is here, it's full, it needs emptying. So I'll put a little bit more cover material on the top, just to top it off. And that will just get lidded and then placed over here until we have about 10
Like
of
he's
them,
from New
and then we'll
Zealand.
make a compost. And so we put a bit of cover material into the bottom of the bucket, and then back in here and it's that easy. So you go make your deposit, put a bit of cover material on, leave it, and then when we've got a certain
works.
amount of
Toilet
buckets,
paper.
we
Yeah,
go
it
to
goes
the
in.
compost and
TP goes in.
add straw and garden waste and kitchen waste, and we build it. This is one I did maybe a week ago, and we'll put the compost thermometer in here and see what we're looking at.
Yeah.
We're still looking at 50 degrees. It's going up. It got up to 65
Dude,
degrees the other day.
128 degrees
Ooh.
Fahrenheit.
You know, there are pathogens you have to consider. There's roundworm eggs and all these different kinds of worm eggs that can exist
They do.
in your manure. And if you do a hot compost, that's the safest way because you can nuke all those things within hours. If you can't heat it up, if you don't get to that hot temperature, then you can just let time and microbial competition do its magic.
You
so
have
you have
pallets.
to leave
You
it for
could
an extra
make
year.
that.
Rather than 9 months, has to be left for
You
2 years
heard.
if you don't get it hot.
So you build a dish, under there. You build a dish so any juice that goes on there goes into the middle rather than out the sides because you want to keep it clean. Then you build.
Juice.
Go over to the willow trees and get some sticks and put a network of sticks underneath to keep it up off the ground. And then I use straw or grass, dry grass. Over the summer I cut grass and dry it out and make a pile. And use straw when I haven't got enough of that. And then make a nest and then put the human manure into the nest in the middle. And then layer of grass or a bit more straw. And I usually chuck a little bit of old compost in there too to sort of seed it. And you don't need to do that, but I do that. And then more buckets, more of a nest, more buckets, and then cap it off with weeds and straw and stuff. And then I put the thermometer in it because that gives us an accurate reading as to whether it's fired or not. So we've got 52 degrees after a week. So that's going to start to move down now. And over here is what you get. I'll put it in a bag, but you don't need to. That there is about a year old. It's got lots of worms in it. We put all our garden waste and all our kitchen waste in here. But the worms are a good sign. If you've got worms, it means it's not too acidic and yeah, good stuff. And that goes straight on the garden and the plants love it. And we love the plants.
So we've been sort of doing this style of composting for about 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's a real, it's
yeah,
free,
it creates a
it's
wonderful
free
resource
nutrients,
that we
man.
use on our garden. When it's
You just
finished
have to deal with
composting,
it
it doesn't look like or smell like anything like poo. It's just beautiful
Everyone
black
likes to
compost.
poop, man.
Okay, so I'm just adding human manure compost to our lower bed.
So he's pooping on his
And
garden right
I
now.
just
It's
dug
raining, as
that
you
garden
can
up
see.
and I'm just going to sprinkle it around like that. And then I'll dig it in. And we'll just dig that in and it should be ready to plant. It'll be perfect.
We
Be
can use it on our
perfect.
garden because we've monitored it closely. We've watched the temperature. We know it's all the pathogens have been nuked. We feel confident in our process.
They eat this food.
So we feel safe to use it in our garden.
Composting toilets are integral to a closed-loop system where waste is captured and reused rather than being sent away for someone else to deal with through expensive, polluting and energy-intensive processing. A well-managed composting toilet does not smell or attract flies, and many people have them inside their homes. The first step in composting human manure is overcoming our socially conditioned fear of poo and viewing it as a resource rather than as a waste product.
It's for everyone. Everyone who wants to take more responsibility for themselves
I'm on board.
and not pass it off.
I'm on board with
Everyone
that.
who values their
Yeah.
Just gotta get some land, right?
Anyone can do this. It's just really a matter of being engaged and wanting to do it and getting the knowledge. It's a knowledge-based system.
Love it. Wouldn't go back. Once you start composting, you don't go back.
They just burn up stuff and mix it up. You know, you get some
They chop it
ashes
up
in
and
there,
mix it
I
in.
value my
some
food.
ashes in there.
So he's like laughing about poo. Okay, all right, you guys get it.
It's cool.
I do it.
Do you have
I'm
plans to
an
do that?
avid urinator in my garden.
Yeah, I think, but pooping though,
Oh, that's, yeah. You gotta compost it.
right? That's what they were
Yeah.
talking about.
You want to definitely do that.
Yeah.
But or soil will do it. But like, you want to kind of let it sit in spot like before you use the soil.
Right?
So kind of compost there and then throw it in.
Yeah.
Keep it water. And it gets
I know.
mix up your poop. I poop in my garden now periodically.
Cool.
Yeah, Indian style. Use water to clean your ass. See, this is something people don't.
So you poop in
understand.
your garden occasionally.
Oh yeah, and then I just let this. I take a little plastic water bottle, and then I'm able to clean my butt.
Without toilet paper.
Yeah, and that's simpler.
That sounds cool.
It's an
High
easy-
pressure
Just
nozzle.
kind of squeeze it at your
you
keister.
just let
I
it
know.
run down your butt. This is what there's billions of people. Most of the world's population does this method to clean their butt when
Right.
they poop.
Huh.
So they take water and they just pour it.
Hmm.
Honestly, it's about over half of our world population.
Yeah.
And so they do that, and then they often poop like off in some spot where people poop. Yeah, pooping bins.
Wow.
Yeah. They let it be.
There's a poop problem in India, though.
I think there is. I mean, it's definitely some health effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, if they compost instead of leaving it in the street, if they compost it instead.
They've been learning this a little bit slowly. slowly. Yeah.
You have to compost your poop. If you don't, you're on the stoop.
I think concept is now entered into heart of country.
It
In
can be a killer.
Maharashtra, they have now discovered the way to handle the poop. This one disciple over there is the poop master.
You will touch the poop only with one hand.
He know how to take. They take the cow dung in India and they make so many things. They build the house. You know, they make the fire with the cow dung and so forth and so on. They use it for medicine on the body.
Medicine?
Yeah, for the cuts.
Okay, what medicine is it?
Well, it
Well,
is-
fresh cow dung on cuts. Then
What?
Yeah, it
That
is. It
seems
is sterile.
bad.
Like if you pee on a fungal infection, it'll sometimes clear it up because
cow
your
dung
pee is
very
sterile.
Good, very good. You eat. All
That's
the-
why you can basically drink your pee.
eat fresh cow dung.
Is cow poop sterile? I don't
know,
think
but I mean,
Yeah, no, cow dung is
no.
pretty sterile. Yeah. No, really. I mean, well, you don't wanna eat
Google.
it. There's some people. I don't know what you call it.
cock-a-doodle-doo.
Cockophilia?
Kappa manja manja.
That means
That
poop,
would be-
eat.
Kaka manja.
It would be copper
Munch, poop.
coprophage. That's a poop eater.
It could be the name. for
Coprophagist.
A
someone.
coprophagist.
Right.
That's
Phages?
coprophagist.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I'm glad
Yeah.
someone knows. No, that dog's nice.
Words.
Hey, dog.
Yeah.
So yeah,
There's a lot
maybe
of
that's
dogs.
our show. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a great show, and I think
Thanks for being our guest.
yeah, I think we
K-PAX.
win.
A blast.
K-PAX.
I'll go back to my planet in Marklar, where my Marklar is
Cool.
not quite as Marklar
Well-
as the Marklar here, but
Oh, so you don't live on your boat? You have a
my Marklar is now in my house, where I have a nice fruit orchard in my backyard, and
cool.
little pond, and a decent neighborhood. But then after 8 years of suffering
Mm.
in Richmond,
Oh. Is this a sings good?
This is a sings good.
yeah, that place is but it's pretty good.
I don't mind you coming here and wasting all my time. 'Cause when you're standing oh so near, I kinda lose my mind. Yeah. It's not the perfume that you wear. It's not the ribbons in your hair. I don't mind you coming here, wasting all my time. I don't mind you hanging out,
Talking
talking in your sleep. Doesn't matter where you've been, as long as it was deep, yeah.
Very well.
You look so fancy, I can tell. I don't mind you coming out, talking in your sleep. I guess you're just what I needed. I needed someone to please. I guess you're just what I needed. I needed someone to please. I don't mind you coming here, wasting all my time. 'Cause when there's no so near, I kinda lose my mind, yeah. I'm looking anywhere. It's not the ribbons in your hair. I don't mind you coming here, wasting all my time. I guess you're just what I needed. I needed someone to please.
I guess you're just what I needed. I needed someone to bleed. So bleed me. Just what I needed. I needed someone to bleed. I guess you're just what I needed. I needed someone to bleed. So bleed me.
Oh, there is vocals. Just what I needed.
Just what I needed. Just what I needed. Thanks, Rick Ocasek, for being a kick-ass songwriter.
Nice.
All right.
That's it.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us today on the podcast for Empathy and Imagination. Thanks to our guest, K-PAX.
Yeah, Max, thanks for being here.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you all for being here.